Hi, this is Chantal Girardi, Facebook strategist, and today I wanted to talk to you about the most pressing thing of all, and that is time. Everyone always says, I have no time for social media, and most times I say to people it's because firstly, they don't know what they're doing, they don't have the confidence in following a strategy or don't have a strategy at all, or unsure of what content to post. However, a lot of the time it's because they're just not managing their time well. So this is an exercise that I personally use in my business. And as a business owner of two businesses over the last 3 years, it has been incredibly important for me to get control over my time and to manage it better so that I could be more effective in my business and have time to do absolutely everything it is that I need to do. So I want to share with you my personal strategy that I use for creating more time. And that will obviously include finding more time for Facebook. So people always say that they're stuck for time, but they also say that if you want something done, ask a busy person. So how is it that a busy person has all the time in the world to do everything that they want to do? And you see these people and they go to the beach and they're walking the dog and they've got date day with their partner and they're still managing to get so much work done, including managing their own social media and running successful businesses along with having their children. So I reckon if you can discover this now, you'll be racing ahead over the next year and you'll have the most productive 2020 with all the time in the world to do everything it is that you want to do. So let me help you find more time by doing these simple things. So often people say that they stress, they can't manage their time. So as I said, this is a fantastic way for you to get on top of that time. In fact, you can actually create a lot more time by simply doing this time management exercise. It is so easy to manage your time with your smartphone or your Google Calendar. So I use my smartphone, but I don't use, I've got an iPhone. I don't use my iPhone calendar. I use my Google Calendar on my smartphone. And I'll show you why, because I love the Google Calendar that you're able to use it. So if you have a Gmail account, then you will have access to the app Google Calendar, which you can use on your desktop as well as on your smartphones. So using your phone, you can actually add in tasks, you can add in your appointments, you can do it right there on your handheld device if you know how, or else you can go into your Gmail calendar on your laptop and you can schedule things in along with scheduling reoccurring events like picking up the children, and you can even color code them, which I'm going to show you in your daily tasks so that you can have everything in an organized way. So in the beginning, you're going, oh my gosh, this is something that no way in hell I can do this. But let me show you how you can simply do it. And it actually starts with you first mapping it all out. But I am going to show you that today. So these are the things that we want to get a grip on today. We want to find more time in your day. We also want to work out, what is important to prioritize and what to focus on that actually makes you money. So rather than focusing on things that don't generate you actual income or don't generate you leads and income and money, we need to focus on things that are going to do that. So how do you identify what those things are? And where do we fit in the time? Like, where are we more effective? So this is just an example, and it's not mine. It was actually just taken straight out of Google Images. But if you have a look over here, this is an example of how Google looks on your desktop. You can see you can have it a week to view, a month to view, or a day to view. I like looking at it at a week to view. And you can go in and you can color code everything. You can put it in the time slots. As I said, you can schedule reoccurring events as well. So for example, if your daughter goes to dance every week between 2 and 3 p.m., you can reschedule that in from 2 to 3 p.m. What I do want you to also recognize is that you have to allow buffer space. So that space for traveling on either side. And you have to, you may need to reassess this as well and adjust your time as you go along. Because I know that initially when I did this, I was like, oh, yep, it's just going to take me this amount of time to do it. But I realized it actually took me a little bit longer. So I had to go in and create a little bit more time to do that. And often people don't go put in essential things like when you eat or you're shopping or you're cleaning, all of the crappy things that you do need to do as well. So I'm just going to show you today how we get on top of it. So before we even start or do anything else, This document over here is a Wheel of Life. Again, you can just download it. Well, I think it is on my website, and you can go on over here, and this is the Wheel of Life. So if you imagine that that's a wheel, and your body, yourself, your whole universe has to roll effectively and efficiently throughout the universe. If the wheel is round and you're balanced in all areas and you're getting a 10 out of 10, the wheel is going to be smooth and it's going to roll and everything is going to flow. However, if you've got ones and some and twos and others and threes and fours and fives and you are lacking, your wheel is not going to be solid and round and it's actually going to be bumpy. And if that happens, you're going to have a less successful and less efficient quality of life or day. So here are the areas, this is the one that I like, and if you do go and have a look online for the Wheel of Life, you'll note that there are different ones, but this is the one that I quite like. So number one, let's go with career. So how satisfied are you in your career right now? So choose a color, go in, the 1 is at the center and 10 is out at the edge, and go in color in out of 10, how you feel right now, how satisfied are you with your career, with your work, with what you're doing right now. The next one is family and friends. So again, family and friends, how are you feeling? This is important because socially, you've obviously got to feel like you're succeeding too. So out of 10, in another color, mark yourself, family and friends. Out of 10, how do you feel all your relationships are right now? The next one is significant other or your romance, your romantic life, whether or not you're in a relationship or not in a relationship. How satisfied are you with that right now? Rate yourself out of 10 in another color. Fun and recreation. So fun and recreations is super important. We don't want to wake up each day, do the daily grind, go home, do the chores and go straight to bed. Fun and recreation is a vital part of happiness and a successful, happy life. So how do you rate your fun and recreation right now? The next one is your health. Without your health, you have nothing. In fact, your health is your wealth, believe it or not. Because if you're not healthy, fit and healthy, and whatever that looks like to you, then you're not going to be able to have fun and recreation. You're not going to be able to have successful relationships or a good career. So rate yourself out of 10 right now, how you feel you are with your health. Money, how satisfied you with the amount of money that you're earning right now? Again, color that in a new color. Personal growth, so do you feel that you're growing? Are you doing self-development? Are you reading? Are you studying? How do you feel right now out of 10? And mark yourself out of that. And your last one is your physical environment. So that is your home, your physical environment, where you are right now. How satisfied are you with that? And mark yourself out of 10. Then look at that and imagine it's a wheel and consider how smoothly is that wheel rolling through life right now? How smooth is that wheel rolling? How successful is it going to make you? It can be quite a bit of an eye opener as well. But when we identify where we're lacking, if we're sort of a 6 out of 10 or even less than a 6 out of 10 in certain areas, it means that we need to be focusing on those particular areas. There are two schools of thought when it comes to this. Some people say that you should only focus on one area at a time. So for example, if family and friends is letting you down right now, then you should consider all the relationships that you have right now. Consider each of the individuals that potentially are maybe toxic or not adding value to your life, and then focus on what going to do. Are you going to remove yourself from them, or you're going to go and try and mend those relationships and work on them? But what is the action that you're going to take then to focus on those particular areas so that you're going to get closer to a 10 out of a 10? Other people may say, set goals for each individual aspect of those. They need to be clear, actionable, realistic goals that you can do. So for example, physical environment. If you feel right now that your house is cluttered, messy, then maybe set yourself the goal that you're going to go in and organize it and sort it all out so that your physical environment's going to be more inviting and more satisfying. And then what you do is you revisit the Wheel of Life in 6 weeks' time. So again, it could be 3 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, however long you choose, but set a timer on your phone, action that into your calendar over the next, whatever weeks you set, and action it and go, right, this is what I'm going to focus on to get a better result, have a more successful life. Okay, so all of you are looking at this going, whoa. So once we've done that, and this is an example of somebody that I've actually worked with who created this. They've done it on a whiteboard. In order to get on top of your time, you have to be realistic. You have to include buffers. You've got to include things like your travel. You have to put in times to sleep, and everything has to be allocated a color so that every every bit of the day has actually been accounted for. So for example, if health is one of your priorities, and you've assessed that you're not getting enough amount of time to sleep, you need to go in, choose a color for sleep, and you need to color in your sleep to make sure that you're getting your 7 hours, however that may look. So consider your have to do's. You have to do things, if you have to do things like school drop off and pick up, you have to eat, that gets assigned a color and that goes into your calendar, and you color out those times for each and every day. The things that you want to do. So in order for example, physical environment or quality of life, you may say, or health, you might go, I want to go for beach walks, I want to go to the gym. So go in and say, well, if I'm going to do 3 days a week, when in the week do I have time to do that? Am I more a morning person or an evening person? And go and color that in. Need to do. So you need to work in your business, but you've also got to work on your business. You also have to consider the yuck things, which are like cooking, cleaning, and shopping. So for example, I do an online shop over the weekend, which means it gets delivered first thing on Monday morning. So we've got groceries for the week. And that way then I've got my meals are sorted for the rest of the week. I don't have to worry about wasting time by running and going to the shops during the week, unless it's for like the odd item I might have forgotten. Things that are yes things. So going to the gym, going to the beach during the week, dancing, reading, meditating, yoga, sleep, these are perfectly tangible things that you can include in your life. And people go, well, I'm too busy to do it. Well, guess what? If you actually put it into your calendar, you're going to do it. So what about walking the dog? Put that in. If date day is important to you, put in that. If the kids are important and all their activities, put that in. Assign them a color. Your partner, when are you spending time with them? Quality time with them, and go and put that in. Self-development, as I said, are you reading? Are you studying? Listening to podcasts, go and put that in. Marketing, every form of marketing. People say to me, I've got no time to market my business. Well, if you've got no clients and you're trying to get clients, you need a market to get clients. But if you say you've got no clients, well, then what are you doing in your day? Because you say you don't have time for marketing. So if you don't have clients and you're trying to take on clients, clients are going to take up more time. So if you don't have clients right now, well, then you must have time to market yourself, because else you don't actually have time to bring on new clients. So I hope that makes sense, but it perfectly is reasonable when you consider it. So you need to be focusing on your marketing. And some people say, an hour a day, however that looks. It might be networking. It might be face-to-face. It might be social media. It might be any other form of marketing that you may be doing, but it needs to be included into your schedule as well. So are you going to do it over a whole day and schedule it for the week? Are you going to do it a little bit every single day? What time of the day are you more creative? Are you going to do that? Do you have time to do networking in the morning? Are you more an evening person? So consider what it is that you're going to do, and again, assign a color to it and add it in. What you'll start to notice is balance. Balance is forming. So you'll start to notice how much time the kids take up. You'll start to notice how much time the cooking, the cleaning, and all that takes up. But you'll get a little bit more structured as well. If you start going and putting the have-to-dos in there first and then working around that. You have to put in things like follow-up. This is a huge thing. So since I've included a new software, so I've just started Active Campaign and I've got a new client management system, it means now that we're retargeting people through our email marketing, which means that I've got to do a lot more follow-up and a lot more emails and a lot more calls. So I'm now having to schedule that to do every single day to check my tasks, my email tasks and my email deals, so that I actually follow up. So people go, I've got no time to check my emails. Well, then you've got no time for new clients, because you have to follow up in order to get new clients. And then you have to have the time to take those new clients on. So it is important that you go through these steps and you see how much time in the day do you have to do it. Another example I'll give you is in my day. So basically my day is from 9:30 because I do school drop-off. So I used to have it at 9 o'clock, but I found it was too rushed, especially if I got caught in traffic, and then I didn't have time to settle before I went into work. So I set it from 9:30, but then I've got to pick the kids up from school. So then we're looking at 2:30. So when I look at that, and then every fortnight I don't have the kids, so then I have extra time to do one-to-one meetings. I also have time to do calls. So what I did is I've set up my calendar so people can book their 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour sessions in the day between 9:30 and 2:30. But I also needed to have time to do sales calls. And I found that when I was doing sales calls in front of coaching, it was less effective for me because I went into coaching mode and not into phone call follow-up mode. And it was disruptive in my day. So now we've set my calendar that I only take calls first thing in the morning for the first hour and the last hour of the day. So the rest of the day is completely taken up to coaching and working with clients. So people can now fit in their 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour appointments, as opposed to me having those little calls and interruptions sort of in between, which was actually taking up more time, and it was less focus orientated. I wasn't able to focus as much on the task that I was doing. So you do need to evaluate what it is that you're doing and how efficient or effective it is, and then readjust it as suit. So this over here is basically, look over here, we've got last week, and then we've got our perfect day. So last week, I want you to go in and add in the time. Now, what you're going to notice is all the stuff that you've put in, you're going to actually find massive holes, and you're going to think, what the hell was I doing in that time? Especially if you work from home. When I work from home, I found that I was really shiny light syndrome. I was ineffective. I was doing this, I was doing that. But when I came into office space and I sat here for a couple of hours, I'm now here to here. This is what I've got to achieve in that time. And make sure that planning's in there as well. So Monday, I plan for an hour. So make sure that your planning's in there too. But you'll start to find a whole bunch of holes in what you have been doing so far. And you'll think, what have I been doing? Then you're going to move across to the perfect day. Now, the perfect day is you're going to look at everything. You're going to consider everything, look at your goals. And then you're going to go, right, I only want to be spending, I say 20 minutes a day on social media. It depends on how many businesses you got and how many profiles you manage. But 20 minutes a day, and then to schedule and do what you need to do, you're probably going to need about, another 20 minutes throughout the day just to go in and check, just to see, just to respond, engage, and see what else you were doing. So, 40 minutes in a day, maximum an hour a day for social media. So you want to go in then, and you want to go and put in those times, and you want to create the perfect day. Now, when I say this, if you want to meditate twice a week, go put it in. If you want to go to yoga, put it in. So realistically, go get out a yoga schedule, go see the days and times of when it is, and go and put it in. And then work out when you want to take clients around that, and work out, when can you walk the dog? When can you, when can you go and buy the groceries? It really, one of the things that really bothers me, and when people say that they go to the shops like 4 times a week, and then they say they've got no time and they've got no money, going to times a week, that is so unproductive. You could just order online. Don't order by impulse. It saves you so much more time and money, because you don't have to worry about travel, driving there, walking around aimlessly. It's so much more effective. So go in now and create your perfect day. And what I want you to notice is that it's not going to happen straight away. You're not straight away going to be able to move from what you have been doing into your perfect day. But if you start going to your appointment calendar and you start taking clients around that, and you start factoring in and start following that new perfect day, you will start to move closer and closer towards a more balanced day that includes things like your social media marketing. It'll include things like your date day and walking the dog. It'll include things like working in and on your business. One of the things that I learned this last year is when a business coach said, if you work for a boss and a boss came in and said to you, I want you to do these, check all your emails and do follow-up calls. You've got an hour to do it and get back to me. Well, guess what? If you were being paid, you would have to do it in an hour. But because we're entrepreneurs and we work at our own speed and our own time, we kind of go, oh yeah, we'll get to that. And we start doing a little bit of this and we start doing a little bit of this. So one of the other tools that I really like to use is called Toggle My Time. Toggle My Time is an app on your phone. And you can go social media or Facebook and you can toggle your time. You can go start and end, and you can start to see how much time you're actually spending. But another thing this business coach had said was that when we set timers, so if you set an alarm on your phone to say that you've got to do follow-up calls from here to here, and you've got to do follow-up calls from here to here, and you set a time to do it, and then a bell's going to ring when you finished, and then you have to stop doing that, and you've got to move to the other, you're going to be so much more disciplined, and you're going to be so much more effective in what it is that you do. So depending on how strict you want to be with yourself or how much productive you want to be with yourself, you may wish to consider some of these options that I'm talking about. So over here, we get back to our Facebook strategy and we go, okay, Facebook strategy, 20 minutes a day. Again, however that looks to you, 20 minutes maybe in the morning to schedule, to do your Facebook Lives, to go and engage, go and check your profiles. And you may choose to do another 20 minutes at the end of the day to go in, make sure that you are responding to reviews, that you're going and getting reviews, you know, checking on your emails. It's important. You've got to follow up on your emails. You've got to get in those calls as well. And as I said, schedule that into your actual calendar for your perfect day of how you want to see that, and then set the time. So the best times to post is going to really depend on your target market. So they say the general times are 6:30, 2:30, and 7:30, but you can imagine that if they say that those are the general times, everyone is going and posting at that time, which means you just become a number in the news feed. So it's best for you to check your insights on your Facebook page and see who your ideal client is. Are they male or female? What demographic are they? So what age group are they in? And then when you look at your insights, you can also see when your fans are mostly online and when they are engaging. And that is when you want to start creating your content. So either you're going to schedule that through the publishing tool in Facebook, or alternatively, you may choose to put that Facebook time into your calendar at that time so you can go online and do it. I know that when I was traveling to South Africa with the 8-hour time difference between South Africa and Australia, I could see when VAs were responding because they were on a different time zone to Australians, and yet they were responding, well, Australians really should be sleeping, which means it's not in real time. So you're going to kind of move down to the bottom of the news feed. So make sure you are checking your insights. And again, that's a strategy that I do weekly. And again, that's going to go into your Gmail calendar, and you're going to make sure that you put it in there, color code it, and you're going to go, right, insights, check my insights. And you should be checking your insights for your email systems, for all your emails, all your campaigns, and also for all your social media as well. All right, so you're also going to focus on, you know, when do you also like to create content? When are you your most inspired? I'm a morning person, so I'm a lot better in the beginning of the day, and as the day fizzles out, I start to fizzle out a bit. So you're going to make sure that you put your creative stuff in the beginning of the day. I also like to do gym at the beginning of the day, so I put my gym at the beginning of the day. So put your things that you're in flow with towards the beginning of the day. Once you've done all that paper stuff, you're going to then go in and schedule it onto your phone. However, I actually find it easier in the Gmail calendar on your desktop, especially if you're setting reoccurring events. So for example, when I've got the kids fortnightly and I've got to pick them up from school fortnightly, I make sure that I put in the pickup time there, and don't forget to allow time for travel on either side, and put it as a reoccurring event fortnightly. So it takes that space out of my calendar. And then when I've got